Have you ever been sitting around a Thanksgiving table and asked the question, "What are you thankful for?" and you were unable to think of an answer? I used to struggle with that question every year until I was a senior in high school. For our senior class trip, my class decided to go to Mexico and do a mission trip. We ended up deciding on going to a small town about 2 hours away from Bacalar, Mexico, that was in need of a church. After about a month of sleeping in a building that was falling apart, which had holes in the ceiling about the size of a grapefruit, we finished our project and returned home. I realized how many things I had been taking for granted in my everyday life when we returned home, and from that day on, I've never struggled with finding things that I've been thankful for. This is a picture of the house that I stayed in for about a month when I was in Mexico. There was around 23 of us that stayed here. It was a pretty good experience, but I'm just thankful I have the house that I do. While we are taking the roofs over our heads and the warm beds that we sleep in for granted, there are people in Mexico that don't know if they're going to have a place to sleep for the night. According to OCDE, the Economics Outlook for Latin America, in 2018 there was 7 out of 10 people in Mexico that were living in poverty. The poverty rate in Mexico is about 3 times as much that we are facing here in the United States. Mexico is one of the countries that is really in need of mission trips. About 51% of their population is below the poverty line, which is leading to about 1 out of 77 children are dying before their 5th birthday because they're malnourished. Families can't buy food and they have inadequate shelter. According to the Save the Children website, 12% of children in Mexico are suffering from malnourishment. This company has worked day and night since they opened on April 15 of 1919 in many different countries to provide children with a safe place to live, to learn, and supply the children with food. And in Mexico alone, they have supplied over 29,000 children with healthy food and a place to study. Mexico is not the only country that is in need of help, and ADRA is well aware of that. They are a mission trip company that is working around the world in around 118 different countries to set up mission trips and to bring people together to help those in need. It is not just the children in these countries that are in need of help. There are many workers that spend all day doing 2 giant truckloads of product and they are not even paid minimum wage. Now, I bet that you're thinking that you won't be able to go on a mission trip or that you can't get time off from work. There are a lot of other options out there. You can contact ADRA to see if there's a project in your hometown or close by that you can go to. Or if you can't do that, there's a website called Save the Children where you can go help support a child go through school and get a better education. 6% of the girls in Mexico that are 15 or older don't know how to read and don't have an education, so they can't get a good job. Or you can go to the site Ending Hunger and Poverty, where you can buy a family animals for food. Just imagine a picture of an old, rundown town with a new school, or imagine yourself helping a little girl or boy learn how to read for the first time. Or Imagine yourself spending hours, day after day, on a construction project and seeing the faces of the little children as they see the place where they're going to learn and worship. I hope that after hearing this speech, you'll take some time and look around at the options to try and go on a mission trip. They've really changed my perspective on life, and maybe they will change yours.